Hello, my name's Colin Campbell. I'm with Polygon. You're looking at Vintage Game Shop. It's been made by an outfit called Ludo Science. It's a browser and mobile game. I spent 10 minutes playing it earlier on today, and it's not the greatest game in the world. It's a nice little bit of fun if you want to walk down the old nostalgia lane, and if you want to look at some of the games and console systems from yesteryear. And also, it's a good way to get a sense of the value of old games. And so yeah, you can kind of delve into old-timey videos and have a look at the games and find out about some of the details about them. So it's kind of like a sort of an interactive history book about video games. And what you're doing is you're running a retro game store, and people come in and they offer you items, and you figure out what they're worth, what you can sell them for, and you negotiate with them. And then they sort of sell automatically. You have no say over the price that they sell for. They sell for basically the market value. It is always worth testing the items themselves, because I don't know, maybe 20-25% of them don't work, and I suppose that's pretty much how it works in game stores. And we've all gone into game stores and been slightly dismayed by the amount of money we're offered for our beloved old games. I traded in all my Xbox 360 stuff, and really they gave me peanuts for it when I was buying an Xbox One. But you can sort of see from their point of view, at least in this game, that it's actually quite difficult to make money with this stuff. There are a lot of people who come in with broken things, or they make outrageous claims about the value of their items, which are never worth quite as much as they think they're worth. They get quite upset when you offer them what you think to be a reasonable or even a risible amount of money for their items. So generally speaking, what I learned is to go very low to begin with, and then to edge up slightly with my price. But as the gameplay mechanics go, it's pretty straightforward. And what I did enjoy was remembering the fun that I had 20-25 years ago with some of these games. Like I remember seeing F-Zero for the first time around this guy's house. He imported a Super Nintendo in from Japan, and we were blown away by it. It was like, oh my god, this is like something that we'd see in the arcades, which at the time was a standard of excellence. I used to play in England. I used to play with my Mega Drive, and I played a whole bunch of games on my Mega Drive, and it was great. I used to have friends round, and we'd have PGA golf tournaments, and it takes you back to those days, but it also reminds you of what these things might be worth now. And if you've got stuff in the attic or in the loft, you can go and dig that stuff out and either play it again or trade it in, I suppose. Here is a slightly not very useful helper who for $10 of virtual currency will tell you what something is worth. Obviously, when you're dealing with margins of $7, $8, $9, that's not really very useful. And but I suppose later on in the game there are some high ticket items which do show up. Here in this demo, there's a signed video game which is signed by Shigeru Miyamoto, which is worth a lot of money. And I just didn't have enough money to trade and to buy that. Some people even come in with arcade machines. I went to, funny enough, an arcade show in San Jose, I don't know, a couple of months ago, and I looked at all these wonderful old arcade machines, and it really took me back, because I'm of that era. I'm now in my 40s, and I started playing games in the arcades, and it was just great to play some of these games which I hadn't thought of in absolute years. And some of them were for sale, and there was a Defender machine for sale. Defender is my all-time favourite game, and it was $750. I was like, wow, this is a bargain. And I almost bought it, but I didn't, because there was something wrong with the audio, and I just didn't trust myself to be able to fix that. So when I told my wife when I got home, I knew I almost bought this $750 arcade machine. She almost killed me. But yeah, what I don't want to do in my life though is go down that rabbit hole of collecting stuff, because that is where you start spending big bucks on indulging yourself. But there are a lot of people who collect old video games, and who do so out of pure love. Some people do it for commercial reasons, and all power to their elbow. I think it's a cool hobby if you've got that sort of disposable cash. So back here in the game store, in the early part of the game, I was making some pretty astute business decisions and buying low and selling high. Even if it wasn't a huge, this guy was just not gonna go for it for Streets of Rage 2. Which I was amazed that it was apparently worth this much money. I think I might have paid a little bit too much for that. So these sorts of games will take you right back to happy days playing Legend of Zelda games. So this game is now, what is it? It's now available on Armour Games, which is one of those browser places. You can also get it for your mobile phone. Like I say, I think even the developers say it's not the greatest game in the world, but it is a little bit of fun if you're into retro games. As I say, my name is Colin Campbell. I'm with Polygon.